as human beings, we have a problem. We have a huge, major problem. And the fact of the matter is, as much as we might love living and we might love or enjoy the moments that we spend with our loved one and the people that that we care about, one thing is for sure, we can seek to maximize experiences that we have, the places that we visit, the vacation, the destination that we have had created such wonderful memories. Then we want to go there again. We might want to see or have a chance to have a nostalgic moment in that same location, or to be with your friends, to be with someone that you have spent a wonderful moment with. But the fact of the matter is, we are all going through this process of aging, and it's something that is slowly happening to all of us, and we cannot do much of anything about it. And is that really true? Can we actually do something with aging? Can we actually perform such activities that can help us to somewhat slow it down and at the same time to look great and to feel great as our time slowly goes to never ending place? So it's a process, and also looking youthful throughout the process of life is very important as well, because I mean, who wants to look old or who wants to get older? At least if you are a child, if you were a kid, or when you were a kid, because this is not for kids, this is not a kid video, but when you were a child, you wanted to be a grown up, you wanted to have the not responsibilities, but the access, the freedom that you assume that grown ups had. But the moment you grew up, you realize that it was not really much. It is freedom, but it came with a lot of responsibilities, which is the bad news. But when it comes to aging, it's something that we cannot reverse, and it's something that we just have to hang in there. So today we're gonna focus on to Ernie Hudson. Basically, he is 79 years old this year, and he looks awesome, because this is what it is. Although we cannot take back the hand of time, although we cannot slow or basically stop ourselves from actually aging, but there are certain things that we can do to make ourselves look youthful and to feel as youthful as possible, that we can throughout our years, that we can still move and engage in activities that we still enjoy, and go to the destination and the location that we actually want to revisit or explore. And him is a good example of someone who has somewhat done something to slow down the hands of time. And this is a 79-year-old man. And we're going to look into today what are his secrets, what are the things that he does, or the activities that he engages himself in that helps him to stay looking fit and at the same time younger. But if you don't know who he is, probably some movies might help you to not acknowledge, but to recognize him. Let me see. And Ghostbusters is one of the movies that he actually starred in. And let me see. Yeah, this one, Ghostbusters, is new. The Family Business. I've watched this one, Ghostbusters. I don't know if you've watched any of his movies yet, but I'm really checking, because probably Nappy Ever After, probably I've watched it. I've definitely watched Redemption Day. I don't know if you've seen any of these movies here in his list. This guy has a big catalog of movies and series. Are these just the movies? But yeah, movies. And these are not the series that he has played in. But on with my talk, and let's get to see.
I've been doing this stuff for 60 years, and now at 78, somebody's saying I'm fine. I'm like,
78, that was last year. This is this year.
Ghostbusters star Ernie Hudson recently went viral after posing on a red carpet rocking in jeans and a tight black t-shirt.
79, folks. I mean, really. This is because, again, as much as we cannot do anything much to actually stop ourselves from aging, but we can do certain activities that can help us to age gracefully, because this is the point of this stream. This is the point of overall my channel, to find ways to help us to age gracefully, meaning that we still have our freedom, our independence to move and to do what we actually enjoy doing, that we actually want. This is the goal.
Can you believe that Mr. Ernie Hudson is 78 years old? This is Ernie in 1980, but after 4 decades, he is looking hotter than ever. One Twitter user wrote, "Sweet baby Jesus, I'm lusting after someone's grandpappy," and another called the actor the epitome of tall, dark, and handsome.
The 78, look at them gams right there, boy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
His recent iconic appearance came about unexpectedly due to a smudge on his jacket just before hitting the red carpet. However, what may seem like a fortunate accident merely showcased the results of years of dedicated effort towards maintaining a healthy lifestyle.
Exactly. Because what the benefit of it is of trying to give yourself, give your body, give your entire life more longevity, or basically the quality of life that you're living. And it's something that you got to start right now. Basically, it's something that you got to start right now, because you want to start early so you can give yourself somewhat a leg first or a head start, basically. So
his toned physique and impressive biceps weren't simply a stroke of luck. They were the product of consistent choices made over time to prioritize health and well-being.
This is a man of compact choices, meaning choices after next, after choices after next, after choices, bring you to a certain position, and this is where it brought him.
I'd like to look good at 120.
In this video, prepare to be inspired by Ernie's holistic approach to health. He will
Subscribe,
share his
please.
exercise routines, his top 5 food choices at home, as well as 10 specific supplements he takes for his well-being.
Let's get to work.
While you may think that Ernie Hudson's healthy physique is due to good genes, that was not the case.
In 1998, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. 2011, I was diagnosed with rectal cancer.
He is a two-time
Very much the worst type of cancers as men we can get, because prostate, we need that, and it's part of our sexual organ. It's like yeah, and the other type of cancer as in general is the worst type of illness, or things to actually that we gotta deal with. For instance, we don't want it, but for some reason it's part of life. We just have to learn to manage it and to deal with it, and to hope somewhat that we can find remedies for it. So
cancer survivor. In both cases, screening caught his cancer early, making treatment more effective. Let's first explore how he exercised to keep fit.
okay, so one of the ways that he was able, as we listen good, is that he was able to capture his cancer very early. That's a good news, because the only way he was able to do that is by being very active and very frequent and going to see his doctor. Because a lot of the time, as people, I would say men, but because still but as people, because the ladies gotta be included. And what I meant to say is this: a lot of the time we tend to be very much like wanna play things strong, or we just don't want to know, because we feel a lot of the time what we don't know can't hurt us. But that it doesn't work like that with health. It doesn't work like that with a lot of different things. What you don't know can actually hurt you the most. Because, for example, for him, Ernie Hudson, the reason why he was able to overcome the cancers is because he got the screening very early. That helped the healthcare professionals to know exactly, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And they were able to, it wasn't like an aggressive cancer that that's in the very much last stages that you cannot do anything about. So this is the key here, to use your health insurance, use the doctors, because a lot of the people, we are, especially if you live in the Netherlands or a lot of different countries where it is mandatory for you to have your health insurance. So which means you need to have a doctor, which means you're gonna have to pay for the health insurance monthly, whether you like it or not. It's mandatory. And you're not gonna use that service that you're paying for monthly, or yearly, just basically put your doctors to work, put your private professional, you know, the person who have supposed to be in charge or have your back when it comes to health, and you know, use these things because they are there for us. So you know, basically try to be more proactive. That should be after you watch the stream, it should be your first thing should be to call your doctor office to make an appointment soon this month to have your general checkup to make sure that everything is fine, or if it's not fine, then you know you can address it as early as possible, and that puts you in a better solution to find remedies for it.
Exercise. Hitting the gym regularly.
At 78 years old, I'm at a point where I have to do something, but I'm not a gym rat.
For Ernie, exercise isn't just about sculpting a perfect physique. In his own words, I see these guys who really pump up and they got these massive arms and six-packs and all that. That's not what my career has been about. Ernie said in an interview that his body didn't really change until the last 5 to 10 years.
70s, things change. I had a visitor, Mr. Jiggles, came to live at the bottom of my stomach here.
He said, when I turned 50, people said, your body's going to change. Nothing changed.
Yeah.
60s, nothing changed.
Yeah, and that's for him. That is his story. That doesn't mean that's yours. That's gonna be your story. Although I would hope that would be your story, because if we can make it until to 50 years old and our body doesn't change, we still feel the same, and our body is not accumulating excess aches and pain out of nowhere, and at the same time, or you know, excess body fat, then that's good news for you. But still, that's not the rule. Basically, it's something that is specifically for him.
70s, there was a change. He noticed that fat began to gather on the lower stomach, and it wasn't going away. 70s, there was a change. He noticed that fat began to gather on the lower stomach, and it wasn't going away. So now in his 70s, he goes to the gym more regularly. Part of his fitness routine includes working with a personal trainer. And on the days I don't work out, I try to get in at least a half-hour walk at a nice pace.
I will walk to 10,000 steps at least.
Get the heart rate up over 110 BPM. That is Ernie's secret to keeping away what he calls Mr. Jiggles. Ernie shares that it's very important to maintain a regimen that he can stay consistent with. He works out 3 days a week. Mondays are for coordination and balance, Wednesdays are for Pilates, and Fridays are for strength training. With a variety of exercises.
You hear that, people? Just because a lot of the time, some people think that, okay, you have to be doing so much. You have to be a gym rat. You have to be like, you know, overly obsessed with training and keeping your body fit. Because for him, 3 times a week, you know, I mean, he's sectioned it. Basically, he does different activities or different types of physical training. But still, it's not like he's going every day. Different 3 times a week, and including the walks. I mean, definitely you gotta walk, you gotta keep your body moving, and that's all it takes for him to stay fit. I mean, even if he does more than that, anything more is even better, but the minimum 3 times a week should be something that you strive for. I don't care who you are, how old you are. That should be something that you know, strive for, to train or to do some sort of physical activity at least minimum 3 times a week. There are 7 days a week, so you can imagine that's like, yeah, you can handle it.
He feels very pumped, which makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Having a young trainer that pushes him like Ernie,
definitely,
he is in his 20s, makes the gym session even more energized. Ernie continues to pump out at least 100 to 150 push-ups across 3 sets. On the other day,
100 to 150 push-ups across segmented or separated into 3 sets. Impressive. I mean, so this is actually a testimony or testament that if he can do it and you are younger than him, definitely you can go even more harder. You can do even much better than he's actually doing. Yeah. So basically, it's basically not excuses. Like, I mean, we can always find excuses, but at the end of the day, our excuses are not gonna be useful to making you become, as you age, to be fit. Excuses not gonna give you any solutions. That's the bottom line. That's the very much thing that I want to say.
Ernie squats While traveling, Ernie jumps rope and fits in crunches or planks in his hotel room.
Yep.
Exercise. Walking.
Yep.
Ernie emphasized that it's important to follow common sense stuff like walking. While
Common
filming,
sense.
Ernie can be found walking around the set in between takes. He also walks around all the airport terminals rather than indulge in the free snacks at the first-class lounges. It's been paying off, as Hudson shows no signs of calling cut on his acting career. With his wife of almost 40 years.
Well, this is exactly on the topic of walking, because a lot of people, for some reason, the moment that they get a car, and I do understand that, yeah, it's hard for you to find time to walk maybe, but I don't think so. Because a lot of the time, like I was saying, the moment that they get a car, they don't want to walk at all. They basically from going from the closest areas, they want to get in the car and just basically don't walk. That's laziness. That's like, yeah, it's not the right thing to do, especially for your body, because there's differences. We can separate in two groups. There is the choices that you make, basically whether to go for a walk or not, but there is the necessity of what the body needs, which is more movement, because the more you move is the better you would feel, and at the same time it's great for the muscle and for the joints, for for them to stay lubricated. And yeah, basically for some reason for me, I don't find when it comes to walking, something as basic as walking, I don't think people should have any form of excuses for it. I mean, if you have knee pain or hip pain, maybe that could be an excuse, but still, there are adjustments you can make. You can probably walk on a treadmill on soft surface, like for example, you can be walking on grass, or what else, on the sand, for example. That's gonna be very low impact on your joints areas. Definitely you gotta move, you gotta walk, because it's very good for the entire body, to keep your entire body moving. Just like your car, for example, if you leave your car for a couple of months and you haven't started it, or you haven't moved it, guess what's gonna happen? A rust is gonna be built. Your car is gonna get rusty, and at the same time your battery might be out. You might need to get a different battery, and over time your car basically can be, you have to get it back to start up again. That's like, could be very much the same principle as your body, because when it comes to a lot of most technology, if not all, derived from the human body, meaning is an image or something that was extracted from the human body, yeah, and then it becomes a technology. But the car, for example, the car can be said to have somewhat similar effects, or in the terms of it's a thing and we are human being. A car can be classified somewhat as not a living thing, but as a human being, because still it has demands, and if you don't take care of it, you know what's gonna happen. Same thing that's gonna happen to your, same things if you don't take care of your body, what's gonna happen, and it goes on and on. So no excuses, folks.
Linda Kingsburg, Ernie tries
Wow, she have bright eyes.
to take at least 10,000 steps a day. Thankfully, it's not too difficult as they have a dog. Regular medical checkup.
So
Ernie
which
was
mean,
diagnosed with cancer twice. Ernie was diagnosed with prostate
I already touched on that.
cancer in 1998 and with rectal cancer in 2011. In both cases, screening caught his cancer early, making treatment more effective.
When I heard the word cancer, it was one of the most devastating moments in my life. But it was the early prevention. I get yearly checkups, and we caught it early. And that's why I'm able to sit here and talk to you right now.
He is now a spokesperson for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. He now advocates for early medical checkups and also getting vaccines against cancer where possible, such as getting the HPV vaccines, which are available for boys and girls. Skincare. Before we go on to the important section on his diet, Ernie quickly shares his skincare secret. He's adamant about skincare and wears sunscreen and uses moisturizer. Ernie shared that, with a lot of black men or men of color, there's a darkness that starts to set in under the eyes. To remedy that, Ernie uses vitamin C to keep the coloration even. What Ernie eats. Let's explore top
Vitamin C for under the eyes.
5 foods we'll find in Ernie's kitchen.
take a look at my fridge.
Let's have a
Ernie
close
makes
look.
good choices when it comes to diet. Just like any of us, Ernie also admits that his midsection has been struggling to keep the weight off with age. He's tightened up his diet,
All right. Oh wait, I wanted to.
eating more whole foods like vegetables and lean proteins and avoiding processed foods like refined breads and pasta.
Yeah.
There are 5 foods that he particularly enjoys eating at home.
First thing I eat, I love to eat oatmeal.
For the first meal of the day, he enjoys oatmeal, which is easy to make and full of fiber.
Yeah.
Oatmeal is a great choice as it helps
Yeah.
keep his digestive system running smoothly and promotes a feeling of fullness that lasts throughout the day.
Exactly what I was gonna say. When it comes to if you're feeling constipated or you have diarrhea, oatmeal could be something that can help you. Definitely, it has a lot of fibers, and fibers tend to help basically your not your digestive system, but it helps your body to move things around. It's like somewhat a lubricant for the body from the inside to help your intestine to move, the waste around. So it's very good for you.
For lean protein, his favorites are hard-boiled egg and smoked salmon.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Favorite is salmon.
Eggs, especially when cooked without
That's salmon.
oil, are easily digestible source of high-quality protein and essential vitamins and minerals, making them an ideal dietary inclusion for seniors and young people alike. They also
For everybody, like it doesn't matter what age group you're in, eggs are beneficial, really very good source, rich source of protein and a lot of different vitamins. I would definitely say this is a goal for your diet, because a lot of people are concerned about how that is gonna cause you to have a lot of flatulent or farting, and it might make you poop. Normally not poop, but it's gonna make your fart stink. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you what food, the majority of food, at least if you are a vegetarian, definitely your fart is gonna smell at least stink, or your number 2 is gonna be the least. But if you eat in any form of meat, definitely your fart and your number 2 is gonna be stinky. So eggs, it's not like you don't have control over your fart anyways, whether you think, okay, eggs is gonna make it worse, but still, and nobody like to smell a fart, I mean, yeah, I mean, your loved one, if you truly are in love, if that's something for you guys, probably your significant other doesn't mind, but whether stinking or not so, or the level of stink of your fart or your number 2, still eggs should be something that you add to your meals.
also contain a significant amount of leucine, an amino acid that is important for
Lysine.
ongoing muscle support, as well as other key nutrients including vitamin D and omega-3 fatty acids, plus a little-known nutrient, choline, which is important for brain function and linked to muscle strength.
Yep.
Smoked salmon is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These health-promoting essential fats provide benefits across the lifespan, especially brain, heart, and eye health benefits.
Yep.
Smoked salmon is also a great source of protein. Salmon also serves up B vitamins, known as the energy vitamins, because of their role in metabolism. They help turn the food we eat into energy our bodies can use. For his vegetable intake,
Yeah, but it's so sad though, because salmon are so good for the body, and more, just like eggs. I guess it's because more and more, what I was gonna say, more and more, they are getting more and more expensive, just like eggs. But I guess it's because they are very useful for the body, and the supermarkets or the farmers, whoever supply, and the supply chain, the prices get higher.
Ernie incorporates sautéed spinach and homemade vegetable soup into his meals. Spinach is a nutrient-dense leafy green packed with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, promoting optimal health and vitality.
Yeah.
The homemade
I like to buy the frozen, this frozen spinach, especially because I like making soup and I add some frozen spinach in it. Delicious. But also, one of the good thing about when it was, when I remember, I'll
vegetable soup,
mention it.
prepared by his wife, ensures he gets a variety of nutrients from different vegetables, contributing to his immune function and overall vitality.
Yeah.
Although Ernie indulges in the occasional treat with crackers, his avoidance of processed foods and fast food underscores his dedication to prioritizing nutrient-dense options.
Yeah. And they call this fast food. They are most, yeah, fast food, junk food. I prefer the name junk food. Fast food, yeah, it's not food anyway because it's doesn't really add any form of beneficial nutrients to your body. Fast food, junk food, definitely it's just a health damager. It's not, yeah, it's not necessary, for sure not. The reason why I eat them a lot of the time, they are easier to get, or you just develop an addiction to it, or you just get overly used to eating this type of food, so, or this type of things, and then you think it's food, but it's not.
Even his choice of snacks, such as nuts like pecans and walnuts,
I love nuts, especially.
Pause, bro. Pause. Yeah, I love nuts too. Pause. But walnut, I like the mixture. I'm trying this new nice one. I get from Plus. It's a mixture of, it's cardamom mixture. Whenever I get my nuts, I try to keep them as much as unsalted as possible, but it really depends because sometimes unsalted nuts can be, yeah, basically it's not tasty. But once you find the right one, it's not too hard, but roasted cardamom, the one that I'm found, it's really tasty, like nicely roasted nuts without salt, because you don't want it salty, because when it's salty, it's gonna make you eat more and it's gonna make you basically not have control, because they say sugar is addictive, but also so is salt. And that's why it's better. And a lot of the time, it can make you eat too much salt, add too much salt in your diet, which is not a good thing as well.
Pecan.
provides him with a satisfying crunch while delivering a dose of healthy fats, fiber, and essential nutrients.
I love these things too, these little string cheese. This will take me about a half hour to eat.
Ernie's eating window, from noon to 7 p.m., aligns well with his natural eating patterns and reflects his intuitive approach to intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting. The more, for me, this is one of my goals. The more I get older, or when I reach above 50s, yeah, my diet is gonna definitely change. Your diet should change, or your nutrition should change every decade. You know, after every decade, your nutrition should change, because the reason why is because your body asks for it. You know, I mean, ideally, we would want to be able to eat anything and everything, but the worst thing is our body doesn't deal well with all of these things. You know, it's just our body. When our body gives us the feedback of what we consume, then it says whether it's a thumbs up or it's a thumbs down. So for me, when I reach above my 50s, if I get to reach that age, then definitely, still, I'm already doing fasting, but like intermittent fasting, but a lot of the time for me, it's not necessary, and I don't try to do it every day as well. But I do have a specific time when I consume my meals, of course. But when I reach that age, definitely, there's gonna be intermittent fasting, a strict window to simply eat, you know, I'll consume all my meals. What this does is definitely is gonna stop or lower the amount of fat that my body is gonna accumulate over time, and it's gonna help me to feel much better as well. And
Don't eat normally before noon.
This practice not only supports his metabolism,
this is very good, not eating before noon, because when it comes to the body clock, our body have a specific clock. We've talked about that. I don't know if you've seen the video, but it's called the circadian rhythm. So every organ in our body, even our eyes, has our eyes and organ somewhat has its own clock, meaning a time where just like the day, just like, you know, in the very morning, the sun might not be shining, and then it starts shining, you know, it's getting daylight, and just like that. So meaning in the morning, what tends to happen is that our body is going through to the clock process or through the process of cleansing. So this is the reason why ideally it's best to not eat anything in the morning, to just simply give your body probably cleansing tea or water to else, or juicing, something that is gonna promote the cleansing process. And then noon afterwards, then your body is actually ready for nutrients or ready for, for food. So really ideal, very good configuration that he has.
But also promotes better digestion and energy levels throughout the day.
Exactly.
Hydration is also a priority for Ernie, as evidenced by his commitment to drinking several bottles of water daily.
Yep.
In a recent interview with Men's
That
Health,
should be that should be all of our goal as well, to drink enough water. I mean, the reason why it's very important is not only that water is gonna help our body to, to cool off, just like you put, I don't know, maybe some people might not know, but when it comes to water, it not only it helps to keep your body temperature, normal, but our body is made of 70% water, and that water need to be replenished. And at the same time, water helps to move things around in our body. So many use for water in your body. Why you should actually, continuously keep drinking water throughout the day, especially in the morning. Like I said, the body is going through a cleansing process, giving it what it needs, water for the cleansing process during the morning is very beneficial, and it's very ideal.
Ernie revealed the contents of his supplement cupboard, shedding light on his personal regimen. While he clarifies that he isn't advocating for any particular supplements and mentions that his wife doesn't partake in them, his routine remains intriguing.
I don't even know why I take it. My wife doesn't take any of it. She's like, you know what? We're eating good. You have all you need, but I'm not taking any chances.
Among his selections are vitamin C and B12, essential for immune support and energy metabolism respectively. He also incorporates apple cider vinegar, believed to aid digestion and weight management, alongside coenzyme Q10, renowned for its cardiovascular benefits. Ernie includes a specialized immune system supplement and fiber gummies for digestive health. Also,
Because
he takes fish oil for omega-3 fatty acids crucial for heart and brain function, and hibiscus flower, celebrated for its antioxidant properties. Furthermore,
hibiscus flower, some of these vitamins or supplements, you can take them via tea form. And the tea form, it's actually even stronger because, when you put boiling water, the tea, it actually breaks down the compounds even better to get into the bloodstream quicker. And the question is, should you use supplements or should you not use supplement? This is the question, because as we've heard, he used supplements, but his wife don't. And we've seen his wife, but the question is, should we? But it is a personal thing. Not everybody likes to swallow pills or chew gummies or think that is basically not necessary. And it could be for such reason. Which reason? I've heard that supplements tend to damage the liver, and what else? Supplements, a lot of it are not real. It's a placebo effect, could be, but there are supplements that are real. Just like if they are unreal supplement or supplements that are fake, there should be supplements that are real, that balance the scale. It's life. So the question is, should you or should you not? Let's put it like this. A lot of the time we are not getting enough or the full range of nutrients that our body needs from one meal or a 1 day from a 1 day of eating. So what supplement does is fill in what we are missing, because whether we don't give it to our body or not, whether we choose not to give it to our body or choose to give it to our body, it still doesn't change the fact that our body needs it. So this is the reason why I believe supplementation is helpful, can be helpful. Which one you decide to choose or to use is ideally keep it organic, meaning that it's natural. Because the reason why you don't want to add, let's say when you go to the store or whichever, you go for a shoe, you go for a specific type of shoe that you want. A lot of the time you can get, the salesperson can be bringing other options, trying to sell you basically what you don't need. And that can be very much annoying, especially when okay, this is exactly what I want. This is the type of shoe that I want. And you just need the size, and you the size that fits you, and you're good to go. You can buy it and go. But this is the same example, is that the reason why you want to stick with organic supplements and organic food all throughout is because throughout the process, let's stick to supplement. Throughout the process of manufacturing supplements, a lot of the time they tend to add other agents, bulking agents, meaning to multiply it, just like they do with the white lady, the Coke. What they tend to do is, add baking powder. I'm not that person, but I watch a lot of how is it, not Breaking Bad, yeah, Breaking Bad also. And they add other things in it to basically make it bigger, or to multiply the quantity. But still, what you need is in there, and that mixture of different other things that you don't really need, basically the body don't really need. And this is the reason why when you go for organic, it's majority of the time, if it's really truly organic, what tends to happen is you're gonna get what you purchase for, or you're gonna go for the type of shoe that you want, the style. You're gonna get exactly that shoe. You're not gonna get all the other distraction. You want to try this pair, this one is new, or this one is old, or whatever, this one is bestseller. You don't want to hear none of that. You just want to get what you actually are after. So this is the reason why when you go organic, you get exactly, if it's truly organic, you're supposed to get exactly what you are after.
Ernie prioritizes his overall well-being with a multivitamin tailored for men aged 50. Lastly, his dedication extends to enhancing external wellness, evident in his choice of a supplement targeting hair, skin, and nails, promoting vitality from within. Now, with all the attention Hudson pays to his health having attracted the attention of others, he jokes that his wife has noticed too. As I get older now and I get more attention, she travels with me now everywhere. She never used to in the past. She was like, okay, I'll see you later. Now it's like, no, we're going together.
Yeah, mid-garden. Yeah, well, she better. I mean, it's healthy, it's good, because I mean, why should she not be beside the man that she loves, right? All right. So I've made a list, and what I was thinking of the things that you could do, basically to help to to somewhat prolong. I wouldn't say prolong, not prolong, but and to improve the quality of life that you're living moment to moment as we age. This is what it's about. So the first one, prioritizing a healthy diet. Eat antioxidant-rich food. So not to forget your berries, your leafy greens, nuts, dark chocolate, combat oxidation. Oxidation is basically when I was giving the example earlier about a car. About a car, you leave it for a long period of time, for months or years. When you come back to it, it's gonna get rusty. So antioxidant is like something that helps the body from getting rusty. You can put it like that. Yeah. So it helps the body to stay less stress. It helps the body to be less stressed. And healthy fat, omega, you get it from salmon. They already mentioned that. Salmon, walnut, flax seeds, support brain and skin health. Very good, especially when it comes to the flax seeds. Well, all of the above, I already mentioned it for the omega-3. Hydration, we talk about water. Why is it important to drink water? And ideally, you want to keep drinking your water in the morning, but not limited to throughout the day. You should also always be consuming water to keep yourself hydrated. And limit sugars and processed food. I would say it's better to limit it to the very limit, and meaning that get to a point that you wouldn't spend your money, you wouldn't decide to spend your money on it unless you are you at a social event, or you with your friends and you must. And that shouldn't be a routine. Basically, at the end of the day, it's like wasting money, because the nutrients that these processed food has is not beneficial for your body. What it tends to do is create unhelpful environment for your body. So it's like pain for the worst case scenario of your body. And they accelerate aging. This is the reason why I limit sugars and processed food, because they accelerate your aging by causing inflammation and glycate and damage to collagen. Collagen is something, you know, our skin need, and our joints, ligaments very much. And if you will cut this and you'll, you know, cut my wrist and you'll look right like in the cross section, like from here to there, you'll see just basically my wrist. Inside here, there's like a soft tissue ligament, and also for your skin, basically. Collagen is very, very much very necessary for the heart as well. And stay physically active. You know that. Exercise regularly, walking, swimming, these things to boost your heart rate, your heart health rather. And flexibility and balance, definitely. Yoga, Pilates help maintain mobility and prevent joint injuries, because you don't want to be stiff, you know, because stiffness tend to limit your range of motion, because, you know, it's basically what it is. That's how the body works. You're stiff. You can imagine the moment that you're stiff, it's harder for you to move freely. So avoid sitting too long. I'm already so when I finish this video, which is about now 41 minutes, after that I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna be moving around to, you know, doing things. I'm not gonna spend the entire day sitting down. I'm not that person. Even I'm like I was built to move throughout the day, keep metabolism active. All right, so another thing we said is we've talked about already, which is protecting your skin through using sun protection. Because it helps with wrinkles and sun damages, especially if you are a fair skinned person, basically more pale in complexion or blonde in complexion, I wouldn't say white. It doesn't seem like white to me when I look at Caucasian, basically. So definitely you want to wear your sunscreen, but for some reason too, as my brown skin types, is it brown or orange? Anyway, you can see it. So what it tends to happen also, we need to have sunscreen as well, because there's a saying that is a theory that over the years and the war time, World War One, World War Two, what used to happen, you know, they used to basically shoot up missiles, and that breaks through the atmosphere. And you know, the atmosphere, basically, when you look at the sky, there are different levels. Just like the clouds, and there's below the clouds, there are above the clouds, and there are different type of clouds that goes higher than the next. And that's the same thing that happens when it comes to the atmosphere. They say, the theory is that back then during the wartime, a lot of different missile or war machines broke through a level or layer of the atmosphere, so which made UV rays or bad negative UVs, sun rays or energy from space to actually be able to enter our atmosphere. And especially if you use in the West, places that used to have war and these things, then you definitely would be good that you protect your body with sunscreen, because the upper atmosphere is thinner and it has holes in them. So so definitely another one, moisturize, hydrate skin, looks younger, so keep your skin moisturized. When it comes to moisturize, that's something we definitely have to really watch out for, because it's all of the time it's best to keep it close to nature, you know, when it comes to moisturizer, because a lot of the brands, they create moisturizers that you constantly have to put on you, or you have to apply the moisturizer in order for you to feel moisturized. Or if you don't put it on right after you shower, your skin will get, very scaly and ashy. I wouldn't say that's a good moisturizer, but a lot of the time these are the only options that we have. So your best option, your best choice is to keep your moisturizers as close to natural as possible, because again, what you put in your skin definitely goes inside your body. So hydrate, we already covered that. And yeah, stay away from unhelpful habits that are unhelpful, that can basically that can dehydrate your skin and accelerate aging. And maintain mental sharpness, so lifelong learning. So that's the one way of looking at it. Reading, puzzle, or learning new skills keep the brain active, because you want to keep creating new pathways, or basically keep challenging your brain. It's not just about the physicality of the working out and stuff, or just walking and moving, or just to drinking water, or having the right nutrients. This is also nutrients for the brain. Yeah. So social connection, strong relationship reduce stress and increase longevity. Strong relationship, but also I would say one part of this is that eliminate or try to stay away from negative or weak relationship, unhelpful relationship, or toxic. Nah, my tongue getting heavy. Toxic relationship, because it can definitely stress is not good, and in terms of unnecessary stress, because a lot of the time we can be, you can have a relationship with someone and they are creating unhelpful stress, basically unnecessary stress, because sometimes it's not that deep, sometimes it's not necessary. But if you find yourself in a situation like this that's causing you to be too stressful, it's taking too much, that is actually putting in to your life, then definitely it's not necessary. It's not a relationship, it's not a helpful social connection. So yeah, keep that in mind. Mindfulness and stress management, definitely that's one of the ways I've already mentioned to manage your stress, is to stay away from people that are stressing you out. And yeah, definitely you want to have a hobby, quality of sleep, get good quality sleep, hormone and health checkups, already mentioned that. Stay positive and engaged. Positive and engaged, that's very much a good thing. But also you want to have a certain level of realistic thinking, because a lot of the time some people can be positive and forget about negative. But if you're gonna figure out what's the right I wouldn't say level, but configuration that works for you, because a lot of the time, most of the time, people are possibly more negative than positive. So a lot of the time you might try to share that positivity, but if people who are going in the cycle of negativity, it can be very hard for you to shine that light of positivity and then for it to actually be absorbed by them, because this is their life, negativity. And a lot of the time negativity can be something that is very comforting for someone, very comforting, because for a lot of reasons. And because just like a lot of people like to be, some people like to be positive, there are a lot of people also like to be negative. You might think that it's counterproductive, but it's not just one way of living life. So purpose, you want to have a purpose, you want to have passion in life, because that's going to give you fulfillment and it's going to give you fuel to live, and also hope, and for another day or for future. Laughter and joy, you already know that, because when you laugh, it reduces stress and promotes youthfulness and mindset. This is the reason why all of the time you want to be happy, you want to smile, you want to laugh. So because it is not just good for that you have a good time, but it's also good for your stress level and for your mindset. So I also consider, I already talked about supplementation, and a lot of different things I've talked about. So aging gracefully is about healthy habits, a positive mindset, and staying active. Genetic plays a role, but lifestyle choices have a huge impact on how young you feel as you basically get older. Let me know in the comment section, what are the things. Are you a person who's afraid of be getting older, or isn't? Yeah, basically, if you are very concerned of getting older, and what are the things that you do to help you to stay fit, or to help you to stay younger or younger looking? And is that something that really matters to you? Let me know this in the comment section. So that was about it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Like I always say at this time, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.